Hello everyone, we're going to check out the Qwen Image Layered model. This model was just released 2 days ago, it's already on GitHub, and the open weights are published on Hugging Face. This model is designed for decomposing different layers in an image, as you can see. In the intro video from the Qwen team, they show how legacy image models give you a single layer representation, but with this AI model, you can split that single image into multiple layers, 8 layers, 3 layers, or however many you want to define. With this infinite depth decomposition, you get different elements from that particular image. For example, you see this Halloween pumpkin, the title, and even the candy and other things, and it keeps the background as the base layer of the image, so it's able to understand the whole image and define its depth. Each of those layers comes with its own alpha channel, which, in simple terms, means each separated element has a transparent background. That lets you isolate those elements to modify or edit them, like in this example where they flip the character from facing left to facing right. Or you can recolor the background. Since this AI model can identify the background or foreground of cartoon characters in a poster, you could even remove items entirely. It's available on the Hugging Face page. You can check out the Qwen official repo, which has the full model weights, and also on Model Scope. Obviously, they've published it there too. From what I've seen of the Python code usage, it's mostly for breaking down a selected image into its compositional elements by letting you define how many layers you want. One important thing about using this model is that, in the example shown, it uses a for loop to display a list of images with transparent backgrounds. Like in this case, where we have individual elements with transparent backgrounds, plus the base layer of the image. We packaged the files in the ComfyUI official Hugging Face repo. It includes the diffusion model and VAE files, which are different from other Qwen image models. As shown here, the diffusion models come in BF16 and FP8 mixed format. The FP8 version is just like previous Qwen models. It's optimized for FP8 lower VRAM requirement, so you can download either one. I'll link both the model and the VAE in the video description below. And this isn't the typical Qwen Image VAE. They've introduced a new VAE specifically for this image layered model to properly generate transparent backgrounds during processing, so if you've got enough VRAM, you can run the 40GB BF16 model or the 20GB FP8 model. There are even quantized GGUF model files available in the QuantStack Hugging Face repo, ranging from the smallest Q2 quantized model all the way up to Q8 quantized models. All the GGUF files are in the Hugging Face repo linked in the description, so you can pick whichever quantized version your GPU can handle. As you can see in Qwen's published intro videos, the main purpose of this AI model is to separate a single image into multiple layers, each representing a different element. I've tried several settings and tested transparency with image separation, like pulling out a character from the background, as in this example. Here, I got John Wick separated, and the output looks like this. Right now, since I'm viewing it in a web browser, it shows a white background, but if you get this output from ComfyUI, it'll actually have an alpha channel, meaning a transparent background for the character, since this was defined as a 2-layer decomposition. I've already tested this in ComfyUI using the basic workflow from the official ComfyUI GitHub page. OG Comfy Anonymous posted an image that includes the workflow in its metadata. You can download that image, drag and drop it into the ComfyUI interface, and it'll load the full workflow diagram. I've gone through it myself, and first, we need to check something here. As we mentioned earlier, you'll need to select the Qwen Image Layered model. In my case, I'm using the BF16 model files, though they also offer FP8 versions, so pick whichever works best for your GPU. I've got the GGUF loader here, but since I haven't downloaded the GGUF files yet, I can't use the GGUF version of the Qwen Image Layered model in the GGUF loader. But if you do download the GGUF files, you can bypass the diffusion model and enable the GGUF loader instead to run it. There's an AnySwitch node here that routes data through whichever input is enabled. So if you're using the diffusion model, you'll bypass the GGUF loader and enable the diffusion model node. Next up is the text encoder. This is the same one we've used with the regular Qwen image model. As you can see, when we select the model type, we choose Qwen Image in ComfyUI's latest version. And in the VAE loader, we're loading the Qwen Image Layered VAE tensor files. So those are the 3 model files we're loading for this Qwen Image Layered workflow, and I've listed all of them in this markdown note here. All the links are included, and of course, we also need a load image node. Now, as you can see here, I'm using a Qwen Image Layered mapper node. This is based on the note Comfy Anomalous posted alongside his workflow on GitHub. By default, if you load his image, it uses an empty latent node from Hanyuan Video 1.0, which includes a length setting. But that length doesn't actually represent the number of layers you want to decompose the image into. Comfy Anomalous clearly specified that the number of layers corresponds to the value in length. So I've taken that logic and built this custom node. I've already published it on GitHub in my own repo. You can download it from there. I made it public just a few hours ago. Right now, in this version, dated December 20th, 2025, the maximum number of layers is 5. Even if you enter a higher number in the number of layers setting, it'll still only output up to 21 layers at this moment. So to be safe, just follow these layer limits. That said, I believe it can go up to 8 layers, just like in the official Qwen Image repo demo. So I might update the layer mapper node in a future version to support that. This node connects the length value to the empty latent node, so by linking them, you can just set the number of layers right here. For example, I used 4 layers for this image, or 3 layers, like in a previous run where I got 3 layers like this. The frontmost layer is, of course, the character in front, perfectly identified. This is the same character I've been showing in these examples. And then there's the background. As you can see, the background isn't perfectly clean after removing the person, probably because the model just cuts out the layers and doesn't actually know what's behind the woman. So it ends up with this blurry area here. And here's one more layer that represents the lighting and the shadow of the character as well. Not really useful for that one. But the main purpose of this image is to be divided into 2 layers. The office background and the character standing in the foreground here. So basically, with this basic workflow, you're already able to separate whichever elements you want to decompose. But keep in mind, in these settings, the number of layers and the text prompts are pretty important. Without text prompts, you won't be able to guide the AI to understand which layer or what kind of things you want to focus on decomposing. That's what I've tested, because if I don't type anything in the text prompts, it won't separate the foreground character like this. It'll just blend everything together as a single output sometimes. So it's kind of hit or miss with this image model if you haven't set up the text prompts and layers properly. Like in this example, if I set the layers to just 1, the output will be only this image. And if I set too many layers, say 5 layers here, but my image's composition doesn't actually have that many distinct layers, it still won't produce 5 clean layers for you. It'll just give you whatever it can extract based on the image. So, for instance, when I previously ran this with 3 layers, that's why I got 3 different compositional elements. If I run it with 5 layers now, let's see what happens. In this case, because of how the image is structured, putting too high a number of layers leads to weird decompositions. Like here, it grouped the woman and her shadow as one element, her face as another, and it didn't properly recognize what the background is. Things just go wrong. So make sure you have a rough idea of how many layers are actually in your image before choosing the number of layers. And don't forget the text prompts. The text prompts are actually pretty simple. They just describe what's in the image. But don't overcomplicate it or try to force 5 specific elements into the prompt and tell the AI to find all of them. That'll just overwhelm the model and give you weird results like this. Like when it tried to isolate a glass door as a single element. Yeah, that's the practical result you can expect. So if I go back to 2 layers here, that means the length will be set to 9, and I'll also show the length value here so you can see what's happening. That way, you understand what this custom node is doing. It's just passing the number of layers back to the empty latent node. This number also matches the logic in the original workflow he posted. It just makes things cleaner and easier. You don't have to keep copying and pasting the length value or memorize it. You can just adjust the layer count directly. And as you can see in this result, it's back to normal. We have the character separated as one layer and the office background as the other. This time, the office looks a bit better. The glass isn't broken like in my last generation, but the middle area behind the character is still kind of messy with noise, since the AI doesn't actually know what's behind her. That's just something that happens sometimes with AI models. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, couldn't you just use a remove background custom node like the one I've used before? Sure, you can use remove background to create an alpha channel for the character. But the problem is, that method doesn't let you selectively choose which specific elements you want to extract. For example, if it's just a single woman in the image, remove background works fine. But if you have multiple elements, you can't use it to isolate just one particular part for editing. So while remove background has its uses, the Qwen Image Layered model also has clear advantages. It can actually decompose different layers in the image, giving you more control. After testing this simple workflow, I also built something more advanced, resizing the image first and using Qwen-VL for image captioning, so you don't have to type prompts every time you switch images. In this case, I used another image and separated the street background from the character. As you can see, both can be picked out individually. It's not just a raw batch of images, you can actually use each layer separately for editing. For example, the simplest way is to use the image from batch node and grab by index. Let's say I have 3 images here because I set 2 layers, and there's always the reference image as the first item in the list. So indexing starts at 0. Image 0 is the reference, then 1 and 2 are the actual layers. So the serial order gives you index 0 equals reference image, index 1 equals background, index 2 equals character layer. As you can see, I'm using the same index numbers in the image from batch custom node. Selecting index 1 gives me the background, and index 2 gives me the character. Different layers, ready to use. You could even build on this workflow further, like taking the character layer and editing it with Qwen Image Edit or another image editing AI model to change clothing colors or do other modifications. I'll probably cover that in future videos, building on this intro to the Qwen Image Layered model. So far, this is how it's performed on the first day of testing, based on the info from the official ComfyUI GitHub repo, plus a few tweaks I added myself to reduce memory usage. I added an image resize node because I found it runs a bit faster when you scale the input image down. If you feed it the original full-size image, imagine a 1200 pixel wide image, or even 4K, it'll take forever during sampling. So resizing first is ideal for speed, and you can always upscale it later in post-processing. Let's run one more example. I'll use a previous YouTube thumbnail. Here, we've got an astronaut, a projector, a campfire, a projector screen in the background. This time, I'll set it to 5 layers and see what we get. Since I'm using Qwen-VL for captioning, I don't need to type any prompts manually. And as you can see, after resizing, sampling is much faster than loading the full resolution image, like a 1300 by 768 image, which would take way longer. Here's the result. As always, index 0 is the reference image, and then we get the other elements I mentioned: the background, the campfire, the projector screen, the astronaut sitting in the camp chair, and the projector itself. Let's say I want to pick out the astronaut. I'll use the custom node and select index 4. That's where the astronaut is. The projector is at index 5. And there you go, the astronaut and the projector cleanly separated from the image list. You can save these with transparent backgrounds and start editing. Swap the astronaut for another character, maybe a woman, or do whatever your creativity calls for. So there you have it. That's a simple way to use the Qwen Image Layered model for multi-layer decomposition, where I'll start exploring how this could go beyond just ComfyUI workflows. I think this AI model could act like a Photoshop-style tool, decompose an image, pull out specific elements, refine them with other AI editors, and put them back. That's one typical use case, or you could take those extracted elements and drop them into completely different images. It's all up to your creativity. So I'll see you in the next one. See ya.